On 90 Day, the single life, emotions run high, connections spark fast, and red flags sometimes wave louder than romance. For 90 Day, the single life star Courtney Reardanz, her brief but buzzworthy connection with Colt Johnson became a lesson in boundaries, trust, and the power of walking away before things go too far. Courtney isn't new to whirlwind romances. Fans first met her on a larger 90 Day universe, where she was known for her laid-back vibe, soft-spoken delivery, and that signature "I'm just going with the flow" energy. But underneath the calm exterior is someone who has clearly grown from past heartbreaks. When she re-entered the franchise on The Single Life, she wasn't just looking for butterflies, she was looking for something real. Then came Colt. Colt Johnson is no stranger to controversy. His complicated relationship history has played out in front of millions, filled with dramatic breakups, explosive arguments, and emotional confessions. So when sparks began to fly between him and Courtney, viewers were instantly divided. Was this a genuine connection, or just another chapter in Colt's long list of messy entanglements? At first, things felt light. Flirty messages, playful banter, a sense of curiosity. Courtney seemed intrigued by Colt's more sensitive side, a version of him that doesn't always make the edit. He appeared attentive, vulnerable, even introspective. For a moment, it seemed like maybe they were both entering this dynamic with fresh intentions. But as anyone who has dated in the real world knows, attraction alone isn't enough. Trust became the quiet villain of their storyline. Courtney later admitted she felt relieved that she didn't get physical with Colt, and that word says everything. Relief, not regret, not longing, relief. It wasn't about shame or judgment, it was about instinct. "We were battling trust issues," she revealed, acknowledging that beneath the chemistry was a constant undercurrent of doubt. And trust, once fractured, or never fully formed, can make even the most exciting connection feel unstable. Colt's past relationships had left behind a trail of skepticism. Courtney couldn't ignore the public history, the emotional volatility, the questions about consistency. Was he truly ready for something new, or was he still carrying unresolved baggage? For her, intimacy without emotional security felt risky. In the world of reality television, physical chemistry often becomes the shortcut to proving a relationship is real. Viewers expect passion. Producers encourage tension. Moments behind closed doors can define a season. But Courtney choosing restraint flipped the narrative. Instead of rushing into something that might cloud her judgment, she paused. That pause protected her. It's easy to underestimate how powerful that decision can be, especially in a high-pressure environment like reality TV. Cameras amplify feelings. Public opinion weighs heavily. There's an unspoken pressure to deliver drama, and yet Courtney leaned into self-awareness instead of spectacle. She recognized that trust wasn't solid. Communication wasn't seamless. Doubts lingered. And she listened to herself. Colt, for his part, seemed frustrated at times. He wanted reassurance. He wanted closeness. But wanting intimacy and being emotionally ready for it aren't the same thing. When two people are battling trust issues, physical connection can either strengthen the bond or complicate it beyond repair. Courtney chose not to gamble. Looking back, her relief suggests clarity. Had she crossed that physical boundary, disentangling herself emotionally might have been harder. Feelings intensify after intimacy. Attachment deepens, lines blur, and in a situation already built on shaky ground that could have meant more heartbreak. Her honesty about that relief also speaks to growth. Earlier versions of herself might have ignored red flags in favor of excitement. This time, she evaluated the dynamic more carefully. What exactly were the trust issues? Part of it was Colt's history, public breakups that played out dramatically. Part of it was inconsistencies in communication, mixed signals, emotional swings. moments that felt genuine followed by moments that felt performative. In the 90-day universe, it's sometimes hard to separate authentic vulnerability from storyline-driven theatrics. Courtney didn't want to be another chapter in chaos. She wanted stability. And when stability feels absent, stepping back becomes an act of self-respect. Fans watching the season had mixed reactions. Some believed she was overthinking things. Others applauded her caution. But the deeper takeaway wasn't about who was right or wrong. It was about boundaries. Reality TV rarely highlights boundaries as heroic. Drama gets the spotlight. Tears trend. Explosions go viral. Quiet restraint doesn't always make flashy television, but it makes powerful real-life decisions. Courtney's reflection shows that sometimes the most dramatic move is choosing not to escalate, not to rush, not to blur lines when your gut is whispering caution. Trust isn't built through attraction alone. It grows through consistency, transparency, and emotional safety. Without those elements, even strong chemistry can fizzle into anxiety. Her story with Colt ultimately became less about romance and more about discernment. And in that sense, it was a success, because walking away without deeper entanglement allowed both of them to reassess what they truly wanted. Colt has always been a complex figure in the franchise, searching for connection while navigating his own patterns. Courtney, meanwhile, demonstrated that growth sometimes looks like slowing down. There's also something refreshing about her openness. Admitting relief instead of pretending disappointment sends a subtle but powerful message. Not every almost relationship deserves mourning. Some deserve gratitude for ending early. In the grand mosaic of the single life, where cast members chase second chances at love, Courtney's storyline offered a different kind of narrative. It wasn't explosive. It wasn't scandalous. It was reflective. Two people testing compatibility. Two people confronting trust. Two people realizing timing and emotional readiness matter. In the end, Courtney's "what if" didn't become a cautionary tale because she stopped it before it could. And maybe that's the real evolution within the 90-day universe. Not every dramatic spark needs to turn into a wildfire. Sometimes maturity is recognizing when the flame isn't safe to fan. For viewers who have followed the franchise for years, moments like this feel surprisingly grounded. The franchise may thrive on tension, but its most relatable scenes often revolve around internal conflict, choosing self-worth over impulse, clarity over chaos. Courtney's relief wasn't cold. It wasn't dismissive. It was thoughtful. She acknowledged the attraction. She acknowledged the doubts. And she honored the doubts. That balance, between heart and head, isn't easy, especially under the scrutiny of millions. But in a world where relationships often move too fast, her pause became her power. And sometimes, the bravest love story is the one you choose not to write.